morning, everyone. Happy Monday morning. I am Carol Williams with Williams Immigration, and we are back for another Monday morning edition of Beyond the Soundbite, where we talk about all things U.S. immigration. So, of course, you know the first thing I want to talk to you about in any March of any year will be H-1B lottery. We are in the throes of the H-1B lottery. The lottery is currently open and accepting lottery entries. It will, however, close on March 19th at noon Eastern. So that is next week. March 19th, noon Eastern is when the lottery will close. So now is the time to enter your individuals into the H-1B lottery. As usual with any other H-1B lottery year, we've seen a couple of software glitches, trouble paying, trouble being able to complete the submissions. So I would recommend that we not wait until the last minute, because we know that this happens every year. So we just have to pack a little bit more patience and work to get it done. But we have seen these issues resolved. But again, the lottery closes March 19th. Next week at noon Eastern. The next thing I want to talk to you all about this morning is the conflict in the Middle East. If you are already scheduled for an interview, an appointment, whether it be for non-immigrant visa or an immigrant visa, the situation in the Middle East right now is a little bit dicey. It's extremely fluid. Consulates are anywhere between closed, completely evacuated, working at limited capacity. So if you have an appointment with the consulate that's already been scheduled, make sure that you are looking at their websites daily. And you also want to check their social media accounts. Some consulates and embassies, not all, but some do have social media sites, and those are updated by their employees. So that is also another source of information for us when it comes to what's happening at the consulates. Watch your local security posts. Like I said, the situation is changing and fluid and changing daily. We have seen general travel restrictions. We've seen airspace restrictions, rerouting of flights because of airspace restrictions and closures. So we're seeing those across the Middle East, Bahrain, Iran, Iraq, Israel, Jordan, Saudi Arabia, UAE, Qatar, and Kuwait, just to name a few that we have heard about. So you want to make sure that you're looking at the most recent updates that you can find in your area that you have access to. And we will do our best on this end to get you updates as we hear of them as well. I want to kind of also give just two reminders this morning. If you are in the US and you've filed an extension of stay or a change of status for an employment-based application, and you get that application approved, you have an approval notice from USCIS. At the bottom of that approval notice will be an I-94 card. It is that card that allows you to remain in the US, continue working. If you then leave the US and you need to swing by a US consulate and apply for a visa, it is imperative that we know if you have a criminal history anywhere in the world at any time. Even if it is 20 years ago, 30 years ago, even if it was before you got your original visa to come to the US. The consulates are doing comprehensive background checks. A criminal history, again, anywhere in the world, can negatively impact your visa application. So just because you go into your visa interview, you filled out your application, and you have the approval notice from USCIS, that doesn't mean, and it does not guarantee that visa application will be approved by Department of State, otherwise known in this case as the consulates. So it is super, super important that we know this so that we can come up with a strategy for you that keeps you work authorized, allows you to remain in the States. Because, you know, if the visa is not issued, then you don't have a way to get back into the United States and continue working. So just, we need to keep that in mind, that just having a USCIS approval notice when you go to your consulate overseas for your interview for your visa does not guarantee that the consulate is going to approve that visa. And the other reminder that I want to give y'all this morning is that the U.S. consulates are still actively looking at social media accounts as part of the visa application vetting process. So they are still asking for accounts to be sort of unlocked and made public, you know, so that their officers can check and see what you have been posting online. So just keep that in mind about your social media accounts. Just because it's not in the news every day doesn't mean that they're not still doing it. They still very much are checking social media accounts. So that's all I have for today, for this morning. If you have any questions about the H-1B lottery, feel free to reach out to my office. Let us know. We will continue to give you as much updated information as we can about consulates and visas and the fluid activity over in the Middle East right now, as well as if you have an approval notice, but you have a criminal history from 20, 30 years ago, and you want to kind of figure out what that looks like if you need to go home and apply for a visa, feel free to reach out to our office. We are happy to help. Have a wonderful rest of your Monday,